Selection of vegetables. While we select each type of vegetable, certain observations have to be followed, and according to that, the vegetables have to be chosen so that they are in good condition. When we choose beans, the beans should be tender, fresh, they should be crisp. Crisp meaning when you break a bean, it should break easily. It should be clean and firm and velvety to touch, because there will be small hair-like structures over the bean, and when you touch the beans, it should have a velvety feeling. And the seeds should be less than half grown. When you take a bean and observe it, you should not see the seeds protruding outside. If they protrude outside, it means they are mature, and they should break with a sharp sound. Cabbage, they should be fresh and should be compact. They should not be loose. There should be no insect holes, and the leaves should not be yellow in color, or it should not be withered. Withered means they should not dry out. And carrots should be firm, fresh, smooth. The color should be yellow orange, and they should not be wilted. Wilted is they should not dry out, and there should be no soft or flabby portion. Cauliflower should be compact. There should be no insects. When you just see the remove the heads of the cauliflower and see, there should be no insects. The heads should be fine, and the leaves should be tender, and it should not be rough. Flowers should not spread out. The flowers should not be yellow. Yellow colored flowers indicates that they are mature. So the color of the cauliflower should be white. Brinjal should be firm to touch. They should be brightly colored, either purple or green, and it should be uniform, dark, rich purple or green. There should be no scars present on the surface, and there should be no decay, and it should not be wilted or flabby. They should not be soft, and there should be no insect holes. Lady's finger, young, tender, fresh tips should be easily broken. That is how we choose the lady's finger. And they should not have any holes which indicate insect infestation, and they should not be hard while cutting. So when we cut the lady's finger, when if it is hard, then it is fibrous, and it indicates that it is mature. Green leafy vegetables should be tender. They should be fresh. They should have a dark, bright green color. No hole should be present on the leaves, and the leaves should not be withered. And too much of water also should not be present, because they keep on sprinkling water on the green leafy vegetables, and because of the water content, they also decay sometimes. There should be no soft portion on the leaves, and the green should be crisp, and the stem should be thin. Tomatoes, they should be bright red in color, firm, and they should not be soft. It should have a very plump body. They should be round, and they should have a plump body, uniform red color, no holes, and it should not be soft. It should not be black and not overripe, and they should also not have cracks. Changes during cooking of vegetables. Vegetables are cooked to improve the color, flavor, and the texture of the vegetable. During cooking of the vegetables, palatability is improved. That is, the taste is improved. Digestibility is improved, easy for digestion. The fiber present in the vegetables, they become soft. The starch gets gelatinized. Protein gets coagulated. These are the changes that are produced during the cooking of vegetable. Cooking vegetables adds variety to the diet. With a single vegetable, different types of recipes can be prepared. Using brinjal, different types of recipes can be prepared, like poriyal, kutu, then chutney, brinjal rice, brinjal vatta kolambu, and different types of recipes can be prepared using a single vegetable. Cooking the vegetable also destroys the microorganisms that are present in them. Water content of the vegetable. Water may be absorbed if the vegetable is cooked in water or steam. And sometimes Water is also removed from the vegetable if the vegetable is baked. When you bake the potatoes, the water content that is present in the potato will be utilized for the cooking of the potatoes, and thus the water content is converted to steam, and therefore water is removed during baking process. Excess water absorption sometimes makes the vegetable soggy, and the bulk of the green leafy vegetable decreases during cooking, and they also become soft. So when we cut the green leafy vegetables and add it to the kadai, the amount appears to be more, but when you cook the vegetables, it becomes the quantity becomes very less, because the water that is present in the green leaf vegetable, they escape, and therefore the quantity reduces. Cellulose and pectic substances present in the vegetables. Celluloses and hemicelluloses, they are the polysaccharides that are present in the vegetables. They are softened by cooking, right? They are the fibrous material. They are the polysaccharides that are present in the vegetables. They become soft when they are cooked. Pectin is also a polysaccharide. It undergoes chemical changes and they become more soluble. The changes make it easier to chew and cut the cooked vegetables. So, say for example, we are eating the raw carrots, and we can also eat the cooked carrots. The cooked carrots are easy to chew, whereas the raw carrots are hard for chewing. So, because of cooking, various changes had occurred in the carrots, and therefore it is easy to chew. Sodium bicarbonate added to cooking water disintegrates the hemicellulose and cellulose and produces a soft texture in a short period. During the cooking of vegetables, if sodium bicarbonate is added, it will be cooked very easily, and also the cellulose and hemicellulose are easily destroyed, and you will get a soft textured vegetable. But however, the sodium bicarbonate should not be added to the vegetables because it will destroy the nutrients that are present in them. Acid produces firmness in the vegetables. During the cooking of vegetables, if acids are added, like when we add lemon juice or tamarind juice or tomatoes are added, the vegetables become hard, and it takes a longer time for cooking. So it produces the acids that are present in the food. It produces firmness in the vegetables. Calcium chloride or calcium hydroxide makes the tissues more firm, forming insoluble calcium salts with pectic substances. So the calcium hydroxide, if it is added, or if it is present in the water that is being cooked, like in the case of using hard water, the calcium will bind with the pectic substances. And calcium chloride is used to prevent softening of canned tomatoes. So this property is used to prevent the softening of tomatoes when they are being canned. There are different types of carbohydrates that are present in the vegetables, and let's see what happens to the carbohydrates when they are cooked. Gelatinization of starch takes place during boiling. Example, during the boiling of potatoes. So what is gelatinization? Gelatinization takes place when there is starch. The starch granules are spherical, and the outer portion has the amylopectin and the inner portion has the amylose. The amylopectin is insoluble in water and the amylose is soluble in water. When we add water to starch, that is, when a starchy vegetable is cooked, the outer portion, the amylopectin, because of the heat, it will disintegrate. And what happens? It will absorb water. The starch granules will absorb water. It will swell in size. And the inner portion contains the amylose. The amylose, they will come out, right? So the outer portion was the amylopectin. So the inner portion, the amylose, they come out because the amylopectin breaks and it forms a gel-like structure, which is called as the gelatinization. So gelatinization of the starch takes place during boiling. Dextrinization of starch takes place. Dextrinization is nothing but the conversion of glucose to dextrins. So some during the cooking of vegetables, we may find that the vegetables turn into a brown color. So that brown coloration is because of the dextrinization of the starch. This takes place when potatoes are fried. So we may find that the surface of the potatoes are brown in color when they are fried, and this occurs because of dextrinization. Hydrolysis of starch. Hydrolysis of starch is the splitting of starch due to the addition of water is called as hydrolysis, and they are converted, the polysaccharide starch is converted into the disaccharide or the simpler sugars. caramelization of sugar occurs. And also the sugar that are present in the vegetables, they caramelize. Caramelization is when sugar is heated, the color of the sugar changes and it forms caramel. This occurs when the vegetables are burnt or scorched. Example, onions. When you roast the onions in heat in the presence of oil. Storage temperature should be about 10 degrees to avoid the formation of excess sugar as a result of phosphorylase activity. So phosphorylase is an enzyme. This phosphorylase enzyme will convert the carbohydrates into sugar during storage, and therefore the storage temperatures should be above 10 degrees to avoid the formation of excess sugar. Browning reaction. This is a very interesting aspect in the vegetables and fruits. When fruits and vegetables such as the apple, banana, potato and brinjal are cut, there is development of a brown color on the surface due to the action of the enzymes. All of us would have observed that when we cut the brinjal and allow it to remain in the room temperature, there will be a brown color or a black color change in the brinjal, in the cut surface of the brinjal. This is known as the enzymatic browning. When the tissue is injured or cut and the cut surface is exposed to air, the enzyme phenol oxidase is released from the surface of the vegetable. So when a plantain or when an apple or when a potato is cut, the enzyme phenol oxidase is produced from the cut surface of the vegetable. This will act with the polyphenols present in the fruits and oxidize them to orthoquinones. So the polyphenols, they are present in the fruits and they are oxidized to orthoquinones, which will give the brown color to the cut surface. Here in this image, you can observe that the brinjal, the color change has taken place, the browning reaction has taken place in the brinjal after they have been cut. And this image also shows the browning that has taken place in the cut apple and the banana. And how do we prevent this browning? The browning reaction can be prevented by adopting various procedures. First is the inactivation of the phenol oxidase. So phenol oxidase is the enzyme I told you that is liberated when the vegetables or the fruits are cut. So this phenol oxidase can be inactivated by applying heat. So when the vegetable or the fruit is cut or when they are dipped in hot water, browning reaction will not take place. And elimination of oxygen by vacuum packing. So this browning reaction is an oxidation reaction. So it requires oxygen. And in the absence of oxygen, oxidation reaction or the browning reaction cannot take place. So if the cut vegetables or the fruits are vacuum packed, vacuum packaging is done where there is no air at all or there is no oxygen at all. So in that condition, browning will not take place. Or the change in the pH to prevent enzyme action. If you make the medium in which the vegetable or fruit is acidic or alkaline, right? You can add acids or you can add alkali to the fruit or the vegetable and thereby prevent the browning reaction. So the change in the pH can also prevent the browning reaction. And the dipping of fruits and vegetables in brine. Brine is nothing but salt water. Or if it is dipped in sugar solution, browning will be prevented. Use of antioxidants such as ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid is nothing but vitamin C, which we can easily get from a lemon juice. It can also retard the oxidation. It can prevent the browning reaction of the vegetables. In this section, we saw about the vegetables, classification of vegetables based upon various criteria such as the parts of the plant, the nutrients that are present, and also the pigments that are present in the vegetable. We discussed about the different types of pigments that are present in the vegetable based upon whether they are water insoluble and water soluble pigments. We also saw about the selection of the vegetable and the changes that takes place during the cooking process and the browning reaction of the vegetables. Thank you.